Dun, dun. Hey, David. I'm just same old, same old. Nothing changed here. I apologize for the lateness of my video. It's now Monday, of course, as you can tell. But I got back to Ithaca from Long Island around 4:30 yesterday, and then I had so much work to do, so I wasn't able to make this. But now I'm doing my best before class, so yeah. But let's talk about what you brought up in the last video. So you said that the second definition of authenticity, for those of you just tuning in, that would be that the person, if someone who does not come from the group or culture that they are singing about is singing about it, it becomes inauthentic. You said that that is not a viable judge of inauthenticity, and you refer mostly to the first one, I believe, which is, again, for those of you not, keeping up, is people who do not make their own music or who use other people's music for their own, is inauthentic. But I say the reverse of this. I say that you took my second definition to an extreme. How dare you? But yeah, I would say that for the most part, if you're a person who's just jumping genres, it becomes inauthentic. It's like if I were to ask people who don't listen to country music what country music is all about, they would probably say something like beer and trucks. But if I ask people who do listen to country music what country music's about, I'm sure they'd have some profound statement. I don't know. I don't listen to country music. But the point is, if you're not from the group, you'll mostly rely on stereotypes, which will, not be good for anyone. People who don't like country music just won't like your music, and people who do like country music will probably be slightly offended by your generalization of their genre. And the same is to be said for all forms of music. I know that I got angry at Long Island Radio, the Shark, when they say this is 100% rock all the time, and then they go straight into something like the Beastie Boys, who's I guess they could maybe be considered rock, but I would consider them more rap rock, hip-hop, if you would. Something along those lines. Not rock. I'm sorry for this. I'm holding the camera. But yeah. And I declare that people do not crave new music. People do not crave innovation or things that don't sound like anything else. They crave things they already know. As stated in the Everything is a Remix documentary. I have watched it before, by the way. I watched it again. Especially the second part with the movies. Everyone wants to see the same movie. Like, the same archetypes, the same plot lines, pretty much, just with a new coding. I feel like that's also to be said for music. I'm sure you've seen the 4-chord videos. If not, I'll link the Key of Awesome's 4 chords in the description. But pretty much, they play the 4 chords that are, present in not all music, but in a large portion of music, especially popular music. And pretty much they just flow straight through one song to the next without ever changing the chords. And it's fun to watch, and it's kind of gets you thinking, like, well, what other songs are the same? But yeah, that is indicative of the first point, I guess. Saying that music that is based off each other is not authentic. But I feel like that's not true. I feel like that's how new music is born. In Everything is a Remix, they brought up the example of Led Zeppelin, and they said Led Zeppelin was a bunch of copycats because all they did was take other people's music and play it in their own way. but I will be right back. Upstairs, so I moved downstairs. What was I saying? Okay, so I feel like people copying each other's music, in like Led Zeppelin, who blatantly copied the blues and transformed it into the newly coined heavy metal. I feel like that's how new genres are born, and that's the basis of new music, by copying something we already know and making it into something new. So to say that all the transistory bands and songs like Led Zeppelin and his cohorts who have covered other people's songs in their own style, I feel like saying that they're inauthentic is unfair. I feel like saying that they're transitory pioneers in their fields and future fields. I feel like that is a more accurate statement, which is why they are authentic. On the point that people want the same music along with the four chords, I also found a Vsauce video interesting. It's about how many melodies are there in the world, because there's a finite number of tones and there's a finite number of ways to arrange them, but the question is, will we ever run out of music? And it's a definite possibility, but I would like you to watch the video, and he talks about how people enjoy certain types of music. So I feel like that is what makes the first point of inauthenticity not matter so much, because sampling and blatant copying and songs that happen to sound the same all belong in that category. Well, in the second category that I'm willing to defend is saying that people are stereotyping certain types of music and really doing nothing for the genre, but confining it in what it already is or what it's already thought of, and it doesn't really lead to expansion, I don't think, which is key in today's modern world of music. As you said, the Long Island radio is dead, and the only way that we can get through this is by making new, better, more enjoyable music, don't you think? So I'm interested to hear about what you have to say on this topic, and what you have to say on this topic, I guess. And yeah, but oh, by the way, the Galapagos thing, yes, we did use Santa Cruz as a sort of hub. We flew from Guayaquil to Baltra, which is the, I guess now it's the Ecuadorian military base, and we kind of radiated out and then came back in. It was interesting, but my professor who pretty much paid for us to go on this trip, Irby, he went back to the Galapagos this past week, and he sailed around Isabella with the people who were the donators for us. So I think that's more like the trip you took, sailing 2 islands and then around Isabella. But yeah. So things happen in Ithaca. It's kind of warming up, I think, maybe. It's not. It's definitely not, but the flowers are blooming, so they're tricked into it. I have 4 more weeks until I'm back home for good. I have 2 more weeks, 1.5 more weeks of classes, so that's exciting. And yeah, I should probably get to class real soon, because it starts in like 20 minutes, and it's about 30 minutes away. So I'll see you later. I hope everything's going well back on the island that I just left. And, yeah. Jump the generation. Bye.